Hello everyone, welcome back to Witch in the Woods here on the Yogscast Complete Pack server, and today we are going to basically roundhouse kick death in the face. So as you can see, I've done a little bit of work. So we've now got these paving stones of warding from Foundcraft. They're fairly cheap to make, I'll show that in a second. But it was a suggestion that some people gave me in the comments of the last video, as a means of containing the spectral undead that spawn around here. Theoretically, I should do it around this mid-level as well, but this is pretty good. This should actually also keep things like demons and whatnot stuck as well, but it affects basically any mob that isn't a player, so if I just lightly nudge putters, yeah, we can see that the runes come up to say, nope, you're not coming that way. Thank you, putter. But other than that, I have gotten a whole ton of spirits, so got 5 of each. I had to do my experimentations in a test world and find out exactly what it is. And it is specifically, you need 5 of every spectral creature. That's 5 specters, 5 banshees, 5 poltergeists, and the poltergeists are a dang nuisance to get. And, yep, Yofudok is stuck here, where he's not gonna do me any more ill, so right. The paving stones of warding are fairly cheap to get, so I'll just show that off for you. I've unlocked basically everything here. So if we go into Artifice, and it's over here, Arcane Stone, turn that into the Arcane Brick, and you can make Paving Stone of Travel, using Air Shards and Earth Shards, as well as some Terra and some Air. Or you can make Paving Stones of Warding using Fire and Order, and then Ignis and Ordo. 10 of each. Fairly cheap to get 4 of them. I only did 16 to fill out that little circle, so that was very handy. I haven't managed to steal any nodes yet. I probably should get on that because they are quite a ways away. I've actually mapped a few of them. Let me see if I can just show you. There we go. So there are all of the nodes that I have mapped. Bit far afield. I think there's like one that's close nearby, but I can't remember if I've mapped that anything useful. Yeah, there's like these occasional like single chunk dark spaces are all actual nodes, because those are Eries. But anyways, what's on our list for today, besides the obvious? Yeah, smack a death up. But for that, we're going to have to talk about fetish binding, and as long as I'm in the region, we'll talk about a little bit of mad science, because I really want to start messing with my genes a bit more. And so the first little experiment that I've been trying to do is I've gotten a bunch of genes. I think I have a few genomes lying around, but let's see. Yep, sequenced wolf. So to get that, you need to craft some, are they in here? Yeah, some empty syringes. Fairly cheap, iron, stick, some glass, gets you 1. And you need 64 of these to make a single genome data reel. You grab a creature, in my case you spawn a whole ton of them in, and you punch them with the syringe to get a sample of their DNA. So, for example, I accidentally hit a couple of bats. I've got some filled syringe of bat DNA. Now, these will degrade over time, as long as they're in your inventory. So the only way to fix that is to put them in a cryogenic freezer, like this one, and stick some ice into this slot. Now, the rate at which that they actually decay varies on biome. If you're in a desert, as I discovered my test world is, it will decay basically instantaneously. If you're in a taiga, it will barely decay at all. Fortunately, we're in a sludge pit, which seems to be fairly chilly, so it's working out nicely for us. You'll need the thermosonic bonders. You need to power these things to actually get them to heat up, and then they still take absolute ages to process anything, so it's best to make things in bulk. There, you must just get the transistors and such. Then you put your DNA, your extracted DNA sample, into the input slot of this DNA extractor. Output a dirty syringe, which you can put in here with water to create a clean one again. And it also outputs a sample of DNA. In this case, a sample of villager DNA. So then you put that into here with the gene sequencer. It doesn't need power. Well, needs electrical power. It doesn't need actual. Let's see. I need an empty data reel for this. And thank you. So that's a fairly simple recipe, but it requires basically, like, fortunately for the naming of this system, just type comp and I get basically everything that comes from it, which is quite a few things, and they can be a little on the expensive side, so be aware of that. But if I just take these villager DNA, if you want to get villager DNA, you can of course punch villagers. You can also just right-click the empty syringe and it will get your DNA. Turns out humans are villagers. Raises a bunch of questions there, doesn't it? Like, maybe we're not the first ones to do this. So you'll need an absolute stack, because it takes 1 to create just the empty one, and then another 63 to fill it. And then you'll be able to copy it inside the data reel duplicator, which is important because you combine them inside of this computer mainframe, which is a little hard to see, which requires a lot of water. Like, seriously, the reason there's a drum here is because it needs so much water it will outstrip more or less any intake you can put on it otherwise. And then it needs a couple of data reels, sequenced genomes to use, and a new empty data reel, and it will output your breed. So hopefully we will have something to work with when we get back from fighting death. But that is mad science for the moment, and hopefully we'll be seeing more of that soon, because I'm kind of interested in it, and I can actually turn this off, because some of these actually need like a redstone signal. I don't think the cryogenic freezer needs a signal, it just needs ice in here. The thermosonics need a signal. The computer mainframe might, I haven't used it just yet, but the data reel duplicator does, and they're a bit finicky, so yeah. So, to get death, we're going to need to find a fetish. Again, not the kind you're thinking of, don't be so dirty. Okay, so, fetishes are these little things. So we've got the choice of Witch's Ladder, which outputs a redstone signal rather than doing most things. We've got the Trent effigy, which looks kind of adorable, and we've got the Scarecrow. Now, is there actually one that isn't bound here? It's right there. Okay. So the Scarecrow is probably the cheapest. The Scarecrow or the Trent effigy. I'm going to go with the Trent effigy. And to get the Trent effigy, we are going to need some tormented twine. Now, I actually don't have very much tormented twine, because, believe it or not, I actually aim more or less all the time purely to get, I know there's a hole here. There it is. Purely to get the wispy cotton, because that's what you need 90% of the time. But I've got some, and I actually had to, like, you can only pick this stuff up from your wispy cotton farm, like, specifically when you are having a nightmare, so I had to go to sleep on a tree again. Wasn't a pleasant night's sleep, I can tell you. So, for that, makes 1 tormented twine with some string and a reek of misfortune. And this is probably the point where I find out that you can only actually like craft this stuff in the middle of the dream world. But let's find out. There we are, reek. And I'm sure there are some Game of Thrones fans just screaming right now. Okay, no, good. We can craft that there. Yeah, slightly stumbling on my words there a bit. So I'm recording this December 15th, so happy birthday to Yogscast Kim, aka Nana Sans, aka Kim Richards. You are awesome, and I hope you continue to be so. And for the love of God, do not just like sneak up on me with a rocket launcher. Right. So then we also need a bit of rowan wood and a jack-o'-lantern. Now I don't think I actually have a crafting recipe for jack-o'-lanterns in here. No, I do not. Although apparently I have quite a few magic jars. No idea why. So let's see, we need a pumpkin, with which we have 20k, and we need a torch. Basic kind of just Minecrafty stuff there. And that gets us a jack-o'-lantern. So stick that there. Right, we need 2 reeks, don't we? Doop. And a bit more string. Unfortunately, I have just enough of the tormented twine for this. So just meanwhile, while I'm working on this, our last homework, our last homework was Pontypool, which I described as being a zombie movie with a twist, and that is pretty accurate, I should think. So the story that the story is delivered to you in parts. It's developed, it's gradually adjusted and manipulated and tweaked and such. And what eventually transpires is that there are riots. These riots are actually attacks. These riots are actually organized attacks of people following a similar sort of ideological mainframe, as it were. And these people are actually the subject of a virus, and this virus is unlike anything we have ever seen before. Now, you can customize these guys, these little guys. They're kind of cute. But I'm not going to, because he will be consumed in our efforts to summon death. So we won't ever actually get to see him again. Which is a pity. Maybe we'll have one around later. But for now, he can just hang around. I'm probably going to install a few of these around the forest upstairs, because they just look so cute. And just kind of like Blair Witch style. Look at that, look at them in my hand. Little dolly. Also, hello Odessa. Right, so, next up. That is a fetish. You bind it using a ritual of binding. Now, the rite of binding is a bit tricky. So you need the 11 by 11. You need 6,000 altar power. I'll be showing you how you can get to that fairly compactly in a moment. You need a bowline, a necromantic stone, and a tune stone, and a scarecrow. It says scarecrow, it can be a trent effigy or a witch's ladder. The bowline is not used up, and you need to have the exact mixture of spectral beings that you want inside of the fetish, inside of the contained area. So, let's see, if I go to Voodoo Protection, you will need 3 specters, a spectre, well, 3 spirits, a spectre, a banshee, and a poltergeist. For the Sentinel, you'll need 3 spirits and 3 specters, that kind of thing. You need to have those in the circle when you cast the Rite of Binding. If you have one too many of any kind, or if it doesn't otherwise match some kind of combination, then it will fail, and it will unfortunately drain the altar, which will then take a heck of a long time to, like, power up again. It's like this one has 8,000, it would take quite a while to still tick up again. But anyways, I have prepared a locale. Whoop. And of course it's raining, why wouldn't it be? Whoop. Right. So yeah, you stick all the all the beasties in. Oh, that's the one thing I've forgotten. Come to think of it, I have forgotten the spirits. I'm teetotal. Why would I have spirits on the mind? But anyways, yes, Pontypool. So it eventually turns out that the virus isn't actually a virus as such. It is an invasive, presence. It's an invasive sort of form of self-replicating life form, as near as we can tell, but it's not organic. Which is interesting, because that basically describes actual viruses. Viruses by themselves are actually just like little pieces of code. They're like little chemical automatons, homunculi, if you will, and they're actually not alive at all, which is, like, really fascinating to realize. They're these things that our bodies really can't process because they're not life. But then this particular, brand of life spawns, progresses itself inside of our very language. Specifically the English language, I believe. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and grab a few things, I forgot I was not carrying them. But anyways, I've got my circles built here. It's a little crop circle-y kind of affair. And over here we have an altar with just over 6,000 power. So I've got the Wirra Skull, I've got the Candelabra, not really much point in that, I've got the Chalice, which I can practically auto-craft. I've got wheat crops, carrot crops, pumpkin crops, melon crops, and melons, melon crops and such. Down here I've got a whole ton of mushrooms. A level below here I've got most of the witchery crops, including mandrake, because like hell I'm gonna pick this up. And this location is quite appropriately known as the Fields of Battle. Yep, there we are. Because this is where it's a wide open space that is largely flat, so it's going to be perfect for spotting Death, who is like pitch black, and he's going to be just like running through this barley. So should be fairly easy to fight him. But anyways, we need our Trent effigy there. No, he's so tiny. He's so cute. I'm actually cooing over him. Okay. Let's do this the quick way, actually, because it'll take a while otherwise. Whoop. Doop, doop. Right. So, we need a necromantic stone, which I believe I have one spare still. Good. We're going to need a bowline, which is presently waiting for us over here, I believe. Yep. And we are going to need... There was one more thing, I know there was. But heck if I can remember it. An attuned stone. Okay. Doesn't have to be charged, but does have to be an attuned stone. Fortunately, we have those on craft. So once they realize the actual straight-up nature of this virus, they have to spend most of the movie figuring out how to stop it spreading, how to cure it. They kind of sort of figure that out at the end there. And especially how they are going to talk to each other, how they're going to communicate, how they're going to convey their ideas, because they now can't do it as easily as they could before, because they might spread the virus. they might just make the problem worse by trying. They might very well, as they touch upon, make the problem worse by trying to tell people how to fight it. It's very fascinating, very interesting. And it was just an interesting take on the old notion of how a virus works, this old notion of how the zombie apocalypse works, that kind of thing. And is that the sun? Or is that the sun setting? I can't tell because of the rain. Yeah. Anyways, I've got a necromantic stone that I can use here, so let's start spawning in our critters. I did put... For the poltergeists are really hard to see, so let me just quickly warp back. I'm doing that a lot, apparently. And grab some brews of revealing so that you guys can actually see some of these people. Whoop, that was me tossing a potion and poisoning myself. I'm fine. Okay, 3 brews of revealing. So these are a witchery brew that I now have on autocraft. So it's just a potion of night vision, standard. First one you make, no like redstone or glowstone there. Carrot, mushroom, 2 spider eyes, and an odor of purity. Fairly straightforward. Let me see, need my stuff. Up we go. I'm already wearing my best outfit. And yeah, this place looks pretty awesome with the storm clouds and the night vision. Whoop. Right. So the ending of it might confuse people a little bit, and I can understand why. It's just sort of a jump. It's as some friends of mine might say, it's a jump cut to a bleached white skeleton. Which is to say that it's this sort of incongruous immediate jump to something. Okay, let's go with the specters first, because they're going to be a pain. No paving stones of warding here. Okay, so there are our 5, and I can tell them to get all over here if I want. Whoa, nope, 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 nope. Don't kill each other, no. Oh, no. Oh, good. For a second there, I thought I had actually told them the ritual to start, but nope. Come on, off you go. Jeez, they're being a little bit on the unruly side. I might have to go and grab some blocks to wall them in. But if I leave this area, they may well despawn. So who knows? Let's just dig a hole here, because that will suffice. Whoop. Down you go. Good boys. Okay, that did the trick. I just scoot down here, grab some of that dirt. Thank you. Right. That solves that problem then. Okay, let's dig another hole. They can't climb out of that, none of them can, so this should be fine. Right. So, that's our 2 spectral stones emptied. As I said last time, they're basically like Pokeballs. Next up is the poltergeist. These guys, really hard to get to actually spawn reliably. Whoop, wrong thing. Okay. So, we've got a few of them. And there's the faintest flash of, like, colour here, but we can make that a bit easier to see. So there they are. And ooh. Yeah, and one of them's being a bit naughty. No, don't attack them. Okay, come on. Get back in here. And as you can see, they're pulling stuff out of my graspers, which is not very helpful in the least. Oh, come on, you're always there. Just want you in the hole. Get in the hole. Get in your vent. Get in your vent. So now that I've used the witchery, the brew of revealing on them, it should be at least easy to spot. There we go. Finally. So yes, he was being quite rambunctious, wasn't he? Knocked out all of our ingredients, but that's fine. We've only got 1 more to summon, and that is the Banshee. I'm holding them to last because they are very noisy, as we all know. So, let me just get a hole in here. And let's see if we can get them to go in the hole reasonably well. So there's 1 already in. And she's going to attack me. Well, they're going to attack me, rather. No, don't attack each other. Regardless of whether I've actually, like, told them or spawned them. Okay, so there's 3 of them, and I need to get them all into that hole. Just... Ow. 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 Ow, 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 ow. One more in the hole. Okay. In theory, I can just have them, like, stand around, but this is... Ugh. A little more. Come on. Ah. Criminy. Come on. Get in the hole. Get in the hole before you start screaming again. One more. You are not nice women. I'm assuming that you're women, of course, but still. You are not nice folk. Can I just get you to if I trick your emotion? No, I don't think I can. Okay, you're about to share a hole with a poltergeist or two, but still, I hope you don't mind. Who am I kidding? Of course you mind. You mind everything. It's basically your job to moan and whine. Ugh. You can gather they do a number on you. I'm almost down to yellow here. Ow. Ugh, let's get in the air again. Okay, can you go... Can I get you to stand right on the gold? Because then I'll have the highest chance of being able to nudge you somewhere more useful. Come on. That's probably about as good as I'll get. Okay, they're in. Thank heck. Phew. Okay, so that is all 15 spirits in place. I'm just gonna down that, because, jeez! Eek. The Banshees do a number on you. How's my wood? Gradually replenishing. Right. Now, Death has 1,000 health, so this is probably going to take us quite a while. But, you know, I'm sure we'll manage something. I don't imagine my genetic bow's gonna come in much handy, but, more or less everything else we'll see. So, let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6... And... Before... Ow! Dang it, Banshees! Do you mind? I'm trying to summon the god of all death here. He that can bring about the endless sleep. Come on. Yeah. Doop. There we go. Okay. Now I just have to dash in and, trigger this ritual. I'm barely gonna get a chance, am I? Nope. Ow. Also, I think the poltergeists might have done some work here as well. Yeah, looks like it. Which one's out? Yeah, the poltergeists are being very annoying, very irritating. Oh, for Pete's sake, I just put that back in. Ow. Get cheap. Bad spirits. Bad. Very, very bad. Yeah. Right, well, we'll start off the next episode when I finally figure this out. So the homework this time is, Village of the Damned, 1960. There was a 1995 US remake, which you can imagine is not very good considering the original was a British film that was directed by a German guy. Adapted from a 1957 novel, The Midwich Cuckoos. Go and check it out. If you can't find the 1960 version, I know it's a little bit tricky to come by, feel free to watch the more recent version, but it's not the one I'm going to be reviewing. So, with that in mind, to next time we battle death. Catch you then.